The door slammed open with a force that shook the framed family photos on the wall, and there stood Mr. Harlan Thompson, his face a mask of thunderous rage, clutching a stack of crumpled letters he'd just unearthed from his son Drakian's desk drawer. "What the hell is this, boy? Love notes from another man?" he bellowed, his voice echoing through the quiet suburban home in upstate New York, where the illusion of a perfect Christian family had reigned unchallenged for decades. Drakian, frozen in his chair, felt his world tilt on its axis as the words he'd poured out in secret to Jamie now lay exposed, raw and vulnerable, under the harsh kitchen light. Drakian's heart pounded like a drum in a silent room. He was 22, a senior at Cornell University studying environmental science, but right now he felt like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar, except this jar held secrets that could shatter everything. The letters were intimate, not explicit, but they spoke of longing, of stolen moments in the campus library, of Jamie's laugh that made Drakian's chest ache with something deeper than friendship. Harlan, a devout Baptist deacon and factory manager, waved them like evidence in a trial. "You've been lying to us, to God. This abomination." His wife, Martha, hovered in the doorway, her eyes wide with shock, clutching her pearl necklace as if it could anchor her to reality. Drakian stammered, "Dad, it's not what you think." But Harlan cut him off, slamming the letters onto the table. "Not what I think. You wrote about kissing him, about how he makes you feel alive. We've raised you better than this, son. The Bible is clear." The room spun for Drakian. He'd known this day might come, but not like this, not with his father's veins bulging in fury and his mother's silent tears starting to fall. Jamie, his best friend turned secret lover for the past year, was everything Drakian wasn't supposed to want. Artistic, openly questioning faith, from a liberal family in Brooklyn. Their relationship had started innocently, a study group, late-night talks about dreams, but it had evolved into something undeniable, something that made Drakian question the rigid path his parents had laid out for him. Marriage to a nice girl from church, a stable job, kids. That night, after Harlan stormed out to pray for guidance, Drakian sat alone in his childhood bedroom, staring at the posters of national parks he dreamed of protecting. The weight of his father's words pressed down. Abomination. Was it? Drakian had wrestled with that for years, attending youth group where homosexuality was whispered as a sin to be prayed away. But with Jamie it felt right, natural. He picked up his phone, fingers hovering over Jamie's contact. Should he warn him? End it? The conflict tore at him. Loyalty to family versus the pull of his heart. Martha knocked softly, entering with a cup of tea. "Drakian, honey, talk to me. Is this real?" Her voice cracked, revealing her own turmoil. She'd always been the softer parent, volunteering at the church soup kitchen, but her faith was ironclad. Drakian nodded, tears stinging. "Mom, I love him." The admission hung in the air. A bridge burned. The next morning, the house was a powder keg. Harlan announced at breakfast, "You're going to therapy, son. Conversion therapy. Pastor Reynolds knows a good program." Drakian's stomach dropped. He'd heard horror stories online, electroshock, shame sessions. "Dad, no. That's not who I am." But Harlan's eyes hardened. "It's a choice, Drakian, and you're choosing wrong." The argument escalated, voices rising until Drakian grabbed his keys and fled to campus, his mind racing. He met Jamie at their usual spot by the gorge, where the rushing water mirrored his inner chaos. Jamie, with his messy dark hair and easy smile, pulled him into a hug. "What's wrong?" Drakian spilled everything, the letters, the confrontation. Jamie's face fell. "We knew this might happen. But Drakian, we can fight it together." Yet doubt crept in. Jamie's family accepted him, but Drakian's world was crumbling. Was love worth this pain? As days blurred, Drakian navigated classes like a ghost, avoiding home. Harlan called relentlessly, mixing pleas with threats. "Come back, or you're cut off." Financially dependent, Drakian panicked. Jamie suggested moving in together, but Drakian hesitated. Abandoning his family felt like betrayal. One evening, at a campus LGBTQ support group Jamie dragged him to, Drakian heard stories of rejection, suicide attempts, reconciliations. It stirred something, a spark of defiance. But back home, Martha confided her own secret. Your father, he had a brother who was like you, Uncle Ted. He left years ago, and Harlan never forgave himself for driving him away. The revelation hit like a gut punch. Harlan's rage wasn't just faith. It was unresolved grief. Drakian's internal storm intensified. Empathy clashed with resentment. Tensions peaked when Harlan showed up at Cornell, demanding a meeting. In a crowded cafe, father and son faced off. Why him? Harlan asked, voice breaking for the first time. Drakian met his gaze. Because he sees me, Dad. The real me. Harlan's shoulders slumped. I see you too, son. But this path leads to hell. Drakian walked away, heart heavy, knowing this was just the beginning. The choice loomed. Conform or lose everything. Little did he know, Jamie harbored doubts of his own, questioning if Drakian's indecision meant he wasn't worth the fight. Drakian drove aimlessly through the winding roads of Ithaca. The autumn leaves a blur of red and gold that mocked the gray turmoil inside him. Jamie's text buzzed. Meet me at the studio? He pulled up to the old warehouse where Jamie painted, the air thick with turpentine and creativity. Jamie stood amid canvases splashed with vibrant abstracts, but his eyes were shadowed. Drakian, we need to talk. The words sent a chill down Drakian's spine. Had the pressure from his family already cracked their foundation? They sat on a worn couch, Jamie's hand in his, but the touch felt tentative. Your dad's threats. It's scaring me, Jamie admitted. I love you, but if you're not ready to stand up, maybe we should pause. Drakian recoiled. Pause? After everything. Jamie sighed, running fingers through his hair. I've been out since high school. My parents threw a party when I told them. But you're still hiding. And now, with therapy on the table, what if you choose them over us? The accusation stung because it held truth. Drakian had skimmed websites about conversion therapy, the pseudoscience promising change, and a dark part of him wondered if it could fix him, erase the conflict. Back home that weekend, the silence was deafening. Harlan had calmed, but his resolve hadn't. I've signed you up for sessions with Dr. Ellis, he said over dinner, as if discussing a dentist appointment. Martha avoided eye contact, her fork pushing food around. Drakian exploded. You can't force me. I'm an adult. Harlan's face reddened. As long as you live under my roof, you'll follow God's law. The standoff ended with Drakian storming to his room, but not before Martha whispered, Please, think about it. For the family. That night he scrolled through old photos. Family vacations, church picnics. Was he selfish for wanting Jamie? The moral quandary gnawed. Love versus duty. Self versus scripture. Jamie, sensing Drakian's withdrawal, pushed for commitment. They attended a pride event in Syracuse, where rainbow flags waved defiantly. For the first time, Drakian held Jamie's hand publicly, adrenaline surging. But spotting a church group protesting with signs like, Repent or perish, he panicked, dropping Jamie's hand. See? This is what I mean, Jamie said later, hurt flashing in his eyes. You're ashamed. Drakian denied it, but the seed of doubt grew. He confided in a professor, a mentor in ecology, who shared his own coming-out story. It's not about choosing sides, Drakian. It's about integrity. The advice resonated, but action felt paralyzing. Harlan escalated, cutting Drakian's allowance, forcing him to take a part-time job at a local diner. The grind mirrored his emotional exhaustion. Serving smiles while inside, he crumbled. One shift, a customer recognized him from church. Heard about your troubles. Praying for you. The pity burned. Drakian called Jamie, voice breaking. I can't do this alone. Jamie arrived, and they talked till dawn. reaffirming their bond. But Jamie revealed his own pressure, friends urging him to move on, saying Drakian was too closeted. The revelation felt like betrayal, Jamie's circle judging him without knowing the full story. Martha, torn between husband and son, sought counsel from Pastor Reynolds. In a private meeting, she learned about affirming theology, interpretations that embraced LGBTQ individuals. It shook her foundations. "What if we've been wrong?" she asked Harlan that night. He dismissed it. Liberal nonsense. But the crack appeared. Martha began reading books in secret, her empathy for Drakian growing. She slipped one to him, Torn by Justin Lee. Drakian devoured it, pages fueling his resolve. Yet, the family dinner turned explosive when Harlan found it. "Poisoning my house," he yelled, tossing it in the trash. Drakian retrieved it, defying him openly for the first time. The confrontation spilled into the living room, years of unspoken tensions erupting. "You drove Uncle Ted away," Drakian accused. Harlan froze, then deflated.
Ted Chaucine.
"I tried to save him," but his voice wavered, revealing cracks in his armor. Drakian pressed. "And now you're doing the same to me?" The room fell silent, the weight of generational pain palpable. Martha intervened, tears streaming. "Enough. We need to talk, really talk." For the first time, they sat as a family, raw emotions laid bare. Harlan admitted fear of losing Drakian, of judgment from the congregation. Drakian shared his love for Jamie, the joy it brought. It wasn't resolution, but a fragile bridge. Yet, outside pressures mounted. At work, rumors spread. Church gossip labeling Drakian a troubled soul. He lost shifts, isolation deepening. Jamie, supportive but strained, suggested therapy, not conversion but couples counseling. Drakian agreed, a step toward autonomy. Their first session unearthed resentments. Drakian's indecision, Jamie's impatience. "I feel like I'm waiting for you to choose," Jamie said. Drakian realized the cost. His hesitation was hurting the one he loved. That night, he decided. He'd confront Harlan again, demand acceptance or independence. As winter approached, snow blanketing the landscape, Drakian's resolve hardened. But a call from Jamie changed everything. "My ex is back in town, wanting to talk." Jealousy flared, mixing with fear. Was Jamie wavering? The question hung, testing their bond further. The snow fell softly outside the diner window as Drakian wiped down counters, his mind replaying Jamie's words about his ex, Tyler. "It's just coffee," Jamie had assured. But the casual tone didn't ease the knot in Drakian's stomach. Tyler was everything Drakian wasn't. Confident, out and proud, from a similar accepting background. What if Jamie realized he deserved someone without baggage? The thought fueled Drakian's insecurities, pushing him toward a reckless decision. He'd attend one conversion therapy session, just to appease Harlan, prove he was trying. Dr. Ellis's office was sterile, walls adorned with crosses and motivational posters. "We're here to align your desires with God's plan," the therapist said, his smile too polished. Drakian sat rigid, answering questions about his same-sex attractions. Felt invasive, wrong. "Have you considered these feelings stem from unmet needs in your relationship with your father?" Dr. Ellis probed. Drakian thought of Harlan's stoicism, the hugs that never came. Maybe, but linking it to his love for Jamie felt like a stretch. He left shaken, the session planting doubts. Was his orientation a flaw? Harlan praised him at dinner. "Proud of you, son. This is the right path." Martha watched silently, her secret readings making her question everything. Later, she confronted Drakian. "Don't do this for us. Do what's true for you." Her words were a lifeline, but the pressure from church friends intensified. Texts urging prayer, invitations to healing retreats. Drakian confided in Jamie, who reacted with fury. "Conversion therapy? Are you serious? That's abuse." The argument escalated, Jamie storming out. "Call me when you're ready to fight for us." Alone, Drakian spiraled. He drove to the gorge, staring into the abyss, contemplating the ultimate escape. But memories of Jamie's touch, his laugh, pulled him back. He called his mentor, who connected him with an affirming counselor. Sessions there were different, validating, empowering. Your identity isn't a sin, it's part of God's diversity, the counselor said. It clashed with his upbringing, sparking a moral crisis. Whose God was right? Reconciliation with Jamie came slowly. They met in a neutral cafe, apologies flowing. I was scared, Drakian admitted, but I'm done hiding. Jamie softened, but warned, no more half measures. They planned a weekend getaway to the Adirondacks, a chance to reconnect away from chaos. The trip was magical, hiking trails, sharing dreams under starlit skies. For the first time, Drakian felt free. But reality intruded. Harlan tracked his credit card, showing up at the cabin unannounced. The scene was explosive. What is this? Harlan demanded, seeing Jamie. Drakian stood firm. This is my life, Dad. Jamie backed him, but Harlan's words cut deep. You're destroying our family. The drive home was silent fury. Martha mediated, arranging a family therapy session, not conversion but neutral. There, revelations poured. Harlan's guilt over Uncle Ted, who had died alone after being disowned. I thought tough love would save him, Harlan choked. Drakian saw his father's pain, humanizing him. But it killed him, Dad. Don't let it kill us. The session shifted dynamics. Harlan agreed to read literature, attend PFLAG meetings. Progress was tentative, but hope flickered. Yet, societal backlash hit. A church petition circulated, calling for Harlan's removal as deacon due to his wayward son. The family faced ostracism. Whispers in grocery stores, declined invitations. Martha stood by Drakian, defending him at a women's group. Love is love, she declared, surprising herself. The act empowered her, but strained her marriage. Jamie faced his own trials. Tyler's return stirred old feelings, and in a moment of weakness, Jamie met him, sharing a kiss. Guilt consumed him. He confessed to Drakian that night, tears streaming. It meant nothing. I was lonely. Drakian felt betrayed, the pain visceral. How could you? He walked out, driving through the night, questioning everything. Was their love strong enough? Morning brought clarity. Drakian returned, forgiveness hard-won. We both made mistakes, but we choose each other. They recommitted, but the scar remained. Harlan, learning of the church's pettiness, questioned his faith community. At a deacon meeting, he spoke out, my son is gay, and I love him. If that's a problem, that's on you. The bold stand cost him his position, but gained respect from unexpected allies. As spring thawed the ground, Drakian graduated, Jamie by his side. The ceremony was bittersweet. Harlan attended, stiff but present. Martha beamed, her transformation complete. But tensions lingered. Not all wounds heal quickly. Drakian landed a job with an environmental NGO in D.C., Jamie following as a freelance artist. The move symbolized independence, but leaving family tugged at him. In D.C., new challenges arose. Workplace discrimination whispers, societal debates on gay rights. Drakian volunteered at advocacy groups, channeling pain into purpose. Jamie's art flourished, pieces reflecting their journey. Yet, a call from home shattered peace. Harlan had a heart attack, stress from the fallout a factor. The hospital room in Syracuse smelled of antiseptic and regret as Drakian rushed in, Jamie trailing behind. Harlan lay pale against the pillows, monitors beeping steadily. Martha rose, hugging Drakian tightly. He's stable, but it was close. Guilt washed over Drakian. Had his choices contributed? The doctor confirmed, high blood pressure, exacerbated by recent stress. Harlan stirred, eyes meeting Drakian's. Son. His voice was weak, but the grip on Drakian's hand was firm. For the first time, no judgment, just relief. Recovery was slow, giving time for mending. Drakian stayed a week, helping around the house. Conversations deepened. Harlan shared stories of Uncle Ted, the brother he'd idolized, lost to silence after coming out. I was scared for him, for his soul, Harlan admitted. Drakian listened, empathy bridging gaps. I was scared too, Dad, of losing you. Tears flowed, walls crumbling. Jamie joined dinners, initially awkward, but his charm won Martha over. Harlan remained reserved, but asked questions. What does your art mean? Small steps toward understanding. Back in D.C., Drakian and Jamie navigated cohabitation. Domesticity brought joy. Cooking together, lazy Sundays, but old insecurities surfaced. Jamie's confession about Tyler lingered, trust fragile. During a heated argument over chores, it erupted. Do you regret choosing me? Drakian accused. Jamie snapped. Sometimes I wonder if you'd be happier straight. The words hung, damaging. They slept apart, silence heavy. Morning brought apologies, but the fracture needed repair. Couples therapy resumed, uncovering deeper issues. Drakian's internalized homophobia, Jamie's fear of abandonment. Societal pressures amplified. A Supreme Court case on gay marriage equality dominated news, sparking debates. Drakian marched in protests, finding community. But hate mail arrived at work. Anonymous threats labeling him pervert. Paranoia set in. Was it from home? Investigation revealed a former church member, embittered by Harlan's stand. The incident shook Drakian, questioning if visibility was worth the risk. Jamie urged resilience. Hiding didn't work before. Harlan's health scare prompted his own awakening. He attended a PFLAG meeting, hearing parents' stories. One father's regret mirrored his. I lost my son to suicide because I couldn't accept him. It haunted Harlan, leading to a heartfelt letter to Drakian. I've been wrong. Your happiness matters more than my pride. The words healed, but actions spoke louder. Harlan volunteered at an LGBTQ youth center, surprising everyone. Martha blossomed, joining book clubs on inclusive faith. She visited D.C., bonding with Jamie over art. You're good for him, she said. The approval warmed Drakian, but he sensed undercurrents. Martha's marriage strained by change. Harlan's demotion at church led to financial woes. He took a second job. The cost of acceptance was tangible. Jamie's career soared with a gallery show themed on identity. Drakian attended proudly, but envy flickered. Jamie's ease in the spotlight contrasted his own caution. A critic's review praised the raw vulnerability, but one piece depicted a fractured heart, echoing their struggles. Is that us? Drakian asked. Jamie nodded. Art is truth. It sparked intimacy but also confrontation. Drakian felt exposed. A betrayal loomed. Jamie's agent suggested relocating to LA for opportunities. It's temporary, Jamie said, but Drakian saw permanence. You're choosing career over us? The argument peaked. You've sacrificed nothing. Jamie shot back. Hurt. Drakian confided in a new friend from work, Liam, who was openly gay and supportive. Late-night talks turned flirty, testing boundaries. One evening, after drinks, Liam leaned in for a kiss. Drakian pulled away, but the temptation revealed cracks. Guilt drove him to confess. Jamie's reaction was devastation. After I told you about Tyler? Tears turned to anger. Maybe we need space. Drakian moved to a friend's couch, the separation agonizing. He threw himself into work, advocating for environmental policies inclusive of marginalized communities. The purpose grounded him, but loneliness amplified regrets. Harlan, sensing turmoil, called, Relationships are hard, son. Fight for what's right. The irony wasn't lost. Advice from the man who'd once opposed. Drakian visited home, finding Harlan changed, attending an affirming church. God's love is bigger than I thought. The evolution inspired Drakian to pursue reconciliation. In DC, he surprised Jamie at the gallery. "I choose us, every day." Jamie hesitated, pain evident. "Prove it." They rebuilt slowly, setting boundaries, prioritizing communication. Jamie declined LA, compromising with remote work. The decision cost opportunities but strengthened their bond. As summer heated, a family reunion loomed, the first since the revelations. Tensions simmered. Relatives whispered, some supportive, others judgmental. Harlan defended Drakian fiercely, alienating cousins. The event culminated in a toast to family in all forms, but undercurrents of resentment lingered. Drakian reflected on the prices paid. Lost friends, strained faith, health scares. Was it worth it? A new crisis emerged. Jamie received a threatening email, linked to the earlier hate mail. Fear gripped them. Had their visibility invited danger? The anonymous email arrived at midnight, its subject line chilling, "Faggots like you don't deserve happiness." Attached was a photo of Drakian and Jamie walking hand in hand in DC, timestamped recently. Panic surged. Someone was watching. Jamie called the police, but with no immediate threat, they advised caution. Drakian's mind raced. Who? The church extremist? A random bigot? The incident shattered their fragile peace, forcing vigilance. Changed routes, privacy settings tightened. Work became a refuge for Drakian, but even there, microaggressions mounted. A colleague's joke about gay agendas stung, reminding him of persistent prejudice. He reported it, sparking an HR investigation that divided the office. Allies emerged, but so did adversaries. Jamie's gallery pulled a piece deemed too controversial, citing backlash. The censorship fueled Jamie's anger. "This is why we fight." They joined a local advocacy group, channeling fear into action, organizing rallies, speaking at events. Harlan, hearing of the threats, drove to DC unannounced. "I won't let anyone hurt my boy." The protective instinct touched Drakian, but Harlan's presence stirred old wounds. Over dinner, they discussed safety. "Maybe tone it down," Harlan suggested gently. Drakian bristled. "That's what they want. Us invisible." The debate highlighted generational divides, but ended in understanding. Harlan stayed a week, bonding with Jamie through shared stories. "I see why you love him," he told Drakian privately. Martha arrived too, turning the visit into a family affair. She brought homemade pies, normalcy amid chaos. But her health faltered, stress-induced migraines. "All this change," she confessed. Drakian realized the toll on her. Mediating, evolving, supporting. Gratitude mixed with guilt. The family attended a pride parade together, Harlan awkwardly waving a rainbow flag. Photographers captured the moment, going viral locally. Positive comments flooded, but so did hate. Trolls labeling Harlan a traitor to faith. The publicity amplified threats. A brick shattered their apartment window one night, inscribed with slurs. Police investigated, linking it to a local hate group. Drakian and Jamie relocated temporarily, the disruption straining their relationship. "Is this our life now?" Jamie asked, exhausted. Drakian held him. "We'll endure." But doubt crept. Had coming out been a mistake? Therapy sessions intensified, exploring trauma. Drakian uncovered repressed memories. Childhood taunts for being sensitive. Jamie shared his own scars from bullying. Healing bonded them, but external pressures persisted. At a rally, Drakian spoke publicly. Love shouldn't cost safety. The speech empowered him, drawing media attention. Offers poured in interviews, book deals. Jamie encouraged, but warned of burnout. A moral dilemma arose. A journalist offered to expose the hate group, but it required sharing personal details. Drakian hesitated. Risk to family? Harlan urged caution. Don't stoop to their level. But Jamie pushed. Silence enables them. Drakian chose exposure, the article going viral. Arrests followed, justice served. Victory was sweet, but backlash ensued. Protests outside work. Family dynamics shifted positively. Harlan rejoined church leadership at an affirming congregation. Finding purpose. Martha wrote a blog on her journey, inspiring others. Their support bolstered Drakian during lows. Jamie's art evolved, incorporating activism. Pieces sold out, funding charities. Yet personal costs mounted. Jamie's health suffered, anxiety attacks. Drakian blamed himself, questioning decisions. A weekend retreat helped. Nature hikes echoing their early days. "We started here," Drakian said by a campfire. Jamie smiled. "And we'll continue." Recommitment reignited passion, but tempered by realism. As fall approached, a wedding invitation arrived from Uncle Ted's long-lost partner, honoring his memory. The event in California was emotional. Stories of love lost to prejudice. Harlan broke down, apologizing posthumously. "I failed you, brother." The catharsis healed family wounds. Drakian proposed to Jamie there spontaneously. "Marry me?" Jamie accepted. Tears of joy. Planning the wedding brought joy and conflict. Harlan offered to officiate, a full-circle moment. But conservative relatives boycotted, fracturing extended family. Martha mediated, but some rifts proved irreparable. The ceremony was intimate, vows reflecting struggles. Through storms and sunshine, "I choose you." Post-wedding, life stabilized. Drakian advanced at work, Jamie's career thrived. Threats diminished, but vigilance remained. They adopted a dog, symbolizing normalcy. Yet reflections lingered. The prices paid: health, relationships, peace. One evening, over wine, Drakian pondered aloud. Was it all worth it? Jamie squeezed his hand. "Look at us now." Harlan visited, sharing news. The old church apologized, inviting him back. He declined. "I've found my path." As years hinted at passing, Drakian wrote a memoir, chronicling the journey. It sparked debates, readers divided on choices, morals. The book tour brought fulfillment, but exhaustion. Jamie grounded him. "We're more than our story." In quiet moments, Drakian questioned the ethics. Had he forced change on his family? Was love selfish? The memoir hit shelves amid buzz. Reviews praising its raw honesty on faith, family, and identity. Drakian toured cities, sharing stages with activists, but each Q&A unearthed painful memories. One audience member asked, "Did you ever regret coming out?" Drakian paused, the weight of years pressing. "Regret? No, but the cost. It's real." Back home, Jamie noticed the toll. Sleepless nights, distant stares. "You're carrying too much," he said. They sought balance, prioritizing date nights, travel. Harlan's transformation inspired a documentary, featuring his shift from opposition to advocacy. Interviews revealed depths. "Losing Ted taught me love trumps doctrine." The film premiered at festivals, earning acclaim but drawing conservative backlash. Boycotts, threats renewed. Drakian worried for his father's safety, but Harlan stood firm. "I'm done hiding." Martha co-authored a chapter, her voice empowering women in similar binds. Societal shifts mirrored their story. Laws advancing equality, but regressions in some states. Drakian lobbied in Congress, testifying on hate crimes. "Personal stories change hearts," he argued. Success came, bills passed, but exhaustion mounted. Jamie's art shifted to healing themes, galleries worldwide. Yet, a gallery vandalism, slurs spray-painted, reminded them vulnerability persists. A family crisis tested bonds. Martha's diagnosis, early-stage cancer, linked to stress. Surgery loomed, guilt resurfacing for Drakian. "Did I cause this?" Harlan reassured. "Life happens. We're stronger together." The family rallied, Jamie cooking meals, Drakian handling logistics. Recovery bonded them deeper, Martha emerging resilient. "This journey saved us," she said. Years later, Drakian and Jamie considered adoption, navigating biases in the system. Agencies probed their stability, echoing old prejudices. They persevered, welcoming a son, Ethan. Parenthood brought joy, first steps, laughter, but challenges. School bullies targeting two dads. Drakian advocated at PTA meetings, turning pain into progress. Harlan doted as grandpa, teaching Ethan about nature, faith inclusive. "God loves all," he said. The generational healing was profound. Yet, reflections on choices lingered. At a family barbecue, Drakian raised a toast. "To the roads we took and the prices we paid." The story's end wasn't tidy. Life rarely is. Conflicts resolved, but scars remained. Drakian pondered the moral ambiguities. Forcing acceptance, enduring betrayal, choosing self over safety. In his final book Reflection, he wrote, "Love demands sacrifice, but whose?" As Ethan grew, asking about their past, Drakian shared honestly, "We fought for this family." Jamie added, "And we'd do it again." In quiet evenings, doubts surfaced. Had the damage outweighed the gains? Friends lost, health compromised, peace disrupted. But witnessing Ethan's freedom, unburdened by secrets, affirmed the path. The narrative closes on a contemplative note, inviting introspection on the ethics of authenticity in a divided world. Was forcing a family to confront deeply held beliefs a heroic act of love, or a selfish imposition that inflicted unnecessary pain?